He never laid low. He should have been in
He
Bali doing
he
yoga
didn't have a
too.
reason to lay low. First of all, you get to a point with this shit, right? He been up there 30-some years, right? Okay, now let's be real. The total opposite of Diddy, but in the same lane as Diddy, meaning his face is his promo, is who act? Birdman, right? Now,
Yo.
when you look in the media,
Yo.
right? Birdman,
It's crazy right now.
He's always in a long-term relationship. Am I right?
Yeah, from what I've known, yo.
He conducts himself, right? But, you know, the man of the age he is. Diddy, right?
This is live right now, by the way. What's good, everybody?
Yet, bro. He wants to be the man. Diddy want to be the man, and a motherfucker like Birdman know he is the man. And Diddy is the man, but he don't act like it. So he still does all the shit that he does because he feels he's bigger than the program. You got one motherfucker that's mature. Stunner is his own promo. The biggest marketing tool for Stunner is Stunner's face and his voice when he shows up. Just like Diddy. But you don't hear Stunner having all these wild ass parties and every fucking 3 months is this shit, that shit, that shit. He carries himself like the man he's supposed to, right? Diddy is still running around here, nigga, like he 19.
Yeah, it's going crazy.
Well, okay. So, by the way, did you see that video with him walking around at the airport at Opalaka executive?
Opalaka, I seen that.
Man, you had to feel bad for him. Like I felt bad for him. It felt like a man.
The only thing I feel bad for is everybody that was with the program, and all of a sudden you wasn't with the program. The producer, sorry to say, all he wanted was his money. I believe if he had been paid, none of this shit.
But ain't that a sucker move though? If you basically turn, if you turn on a nigga just because you ain't get paid some bread when you could like sue him for the money, don't.
Is that a sucker move or is that a dumb move on Diddy? Shit, Diddy had just gave the man his little money he owed him because look what it's costing him now. You gotta stop trying to bully everybody. Everybody ain't gonna fight back the same. Everybody just ain't gonna go away, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of motherfuckers that got bullied and they just went away or they just tried to file a lawsuit and they end up having to settle, right? But people work, people shut down and do things, right, for pay. Motherfucker that took 6 months of his life. If you go look at that dude's Instagram, his last 6 months is everything Diddy. Traveling here, there, working out, studio, here, working on that project. It come time to get paid, and a motherfucker dragging his feet, and you know he got paid, motherfucker get mad. Now, depending on who you dealing with, depending on what the reaction of that anger is going to be. Motherfucker like me, I'm going to lay in his bushes.
Hey.
Right?
Everybody keep asking.
He's laying low. Yeah.
You know who that is, right?
What about Fonzberg Bentley?
He just kind of like faded away. He just never, you know, he got
the guy that used to work for Diddy, I think, right?
I mean,
I think he's a comedian.
Who's to know he ain't already talking to the people? That fadeaway shit.
That's crazy.
Hey, that means something. Most palm people fade away.
This is Wack 100
they forced to.
And DJ Akademiks.
Hey, like, serious question.
On the phone call.
I've explained to like my audience before that
DJ Akademiks is streaming live.
You know, some people want to act like it's so new or taboo. Is that when you get people who they have unlimited access to sex, they might get a little kinkier and kinkier because they trying to get that dopamine rush or whatever.
Nah, fuck all that.
Okay.
When you just on some Diddy's bisexual.
Holy shit.
Right?
Yo.
He bisexual. You know, he has a... Bro, I'm listening to
he said you saw.
You know, you rubbing niggas' shoulders and grabbing niggas' crotches. I don't give a fuck. You know, which you bisexual, bro. You like both sexes, right? I've had people over the years come tell me shit, bro, like stylists and gay stylists. You know, like, yo, man, dude was aggressive and shit. I was this, and then
these fools is wild.
Like, get out
it's a live
here.
react.
So he's bisexual. That's his thing.
What the heck is going on right now?
Don't come out the closet. If he came out the closet day one, it'd probably be a different story. But he's still trying to hide it. You know, he needs to own his truth, bro.
Somebody actually said that all
That's
of this
crazy.
is caused because
He's talking about Diddy.
homophobia in hip hop, and if Diddy could have lived his honest truth, he would have never got in trouble.
Bro, if Cassie came at him,
Yeah.
he would have stepped out and said, listen, I'm bisexual, I'm being extorted.
Right.
They know I didn't want it out here, but I'm tired of hiding my truth. I'm tired of it. That's it. And boom, boom, boom. The community would have stood up with him and would have drowned all that other shit out.
Interesting.
I'm telling you.
If he'd have just come out,
but I want to advise
people
you,
would have embraced it, I guess, right?
Blueface.
But he
I don't want to put that on no artist you've ever been with, but
he like threw everybody off with this persona.
One of the hottest rappers in the game, but you're starting to notice a few things. That artist seems to always, it's not just about like having sex. They're doing a little bit much. You know what I mean? They're starting doing some Diddy shit. You get what I mean? They're having some parties.
Yo.
And then now you're the manager. So they start looking
That's
at
like
you
the
and
new
they
phrase
say,
now.
Hey,
I
need you to facilitate this. I need you to go get
That's a new slang
I
now.
need you to holler at some escorts because we're going to need some escorts for tonight. We need you to put them on a private jet, fly them over here, blah, 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 blah. How much, as a manager, do you, or where do you draw the line and say that ain't got nothing to do with music, and you need an assistant to go do that bullshit or go do it yourself because that ain't got nothing to do with me.
You talking about me, Wack 100 as I am?
Yes, yeah. Your artist is telling you
that ain't got nothing to do with me. That show. Listen, no studio time. You don't need no transportation nowhere. I'm out. Never gonna happen.
So
that's conspiracy.
So that person say, yo, I need a mansion because I want to have like a big ass orgy. I'm flying. I'm flying women from all over the place.
I will provide the airline. I will book all their flights.
Okay.
I will provide the catering. I will provide the security at the front gates.
Okay.
I will provide the liquor and make sure that's there. I will provide the DJ. If you want dance, I'll provide all that. Once it's all set up, I'm going to appoint a few people to make sure the house is managed. When it comes to those things, make sure the liquor don't run out, food don't run out, security doing what they're supposed to do, then Wack is out.
Sounds like a good manager to me.
Get naked, unless we're booby trapping the motherfucking strip club.
Interesting.
I'm wondering who was that person for Diddy to say, yo, Diddy, nah, man, we're not doing this shit.
Interesting.
Yo, Diddy tried a few people. You heard when he tried Chris Brown manager, right? What happened, right?
He tried Chris Brown, man. Like, what do you mean?
He tried. He's trying to throw hands. I think I might remember this.
No. I ain't gonna say that because Ant wasn't going for that.
This is like a couple years ago, right?
And why you don't take your shirt off, man, and get in the pool?
What?
No, he didn't. And told him, man, I beat your motherfucking ass playing with me like that. Yeah, showed him that. Yes, he did. And wasn't going for none of that shit.
So you don't believe that Diddy is the Jeffrey Epstein of hip hop?
Oh man.
No, I believe Diddy is Diddy. Let Jeffrey be Jeffrey.
Interesting.
I believe Jeffrey was doing some other shit. Not to say we know everything Diddy was doing, and I'm gonna keep it real. Like I don't
it's crazy.
disagree.
It's crazy.
Anything involving adults making their own decision, I don't disagree with what he was doing.
Hey, at what point, if you're Diddy, you start to hit the blackmail button, which means like, yo, hey, like, and I don't want to mention no names, but let's say
stuff going on.
Be like, hey, yo, Jay, remember when you came to the party and I let you fuck them 5 bitches? You better speak up for me, nigga. Like, he probably has some info on other people that been to the parties. Everybody's quiet. At what point do you use that information to be like, yo, y'all know if I go down, all y'all niggas go down too, right?
Dude, he was like mentioning all these famous people that are like adopted.
No bitch at no Diddy party, bro.
What?
There's nothing dumb about that man. That man know who his wife is. He know how media work. He know how niggas work. Jay-Z ain't fucked down, bitch. Ain't did nothing wrong at no Diddy party. I'm willing, out of everybody, right, I can give you 2 people I know for a fact that did nothing wrong at Diddy.
Either Harvey Weinstein, not the Jeffrey Epstein.
Motherfucking Jay-Z.
Somebody said in the chat.
I bet everything on it. They went, handled their business, did what they had to do, and got on.
What about Carisha?
Ain't gonna happen. Well, Carisha, bro, him and Carisha were alright, bro. They've been intimate with one another. Of course, you might have went to one of the rooms that's her fucking room where her fucking clothes is at and did whatever with her man, bro. I'm sure. I mean, you telling me, Yak, you never had a threesome with your woman? With another chick?
Yeah, but what was being described here in a regular threesome, they talking about drugging
What do you
people.
mean a regular threesome? What do you mean? Some people, Yak. Listen, a lot of people, I don't. A lot of people get high, bro. A lot of people do cocaine, pills, fucking ecstasy, fucking Molly. Let's fucking be real. A lot of people do these drugs. Some of these drugs are considered sex drugs. They gonna mix it with alcohol. You know this shit, Act like. Stop capping.
Well, hold on. But
okay.
Again, who knows if that little Rob guy telling the truth? But you know what he also alleged?
Okay.
And we've heard this from
Thanks.
Curry and even
Adult Wack 100.
Everybody know at a Diddy party, you got
I need an adult for that.
Two type of liquor: the liquor that's laced and the liquor that ain't laced. That's already a problem.
Well, I don't know about that, and until they
hold on,
find
all right, let's go back to your example.
Bottle, until they find a laced bottle, we can't speak on that. Now, this is what we do know, right? We do know from let's say Club Live.
He just type Diddy and TMZ and his name just pops up.
As long as
it's insane.
there
all over the place.
Do you need to lace them?
Do they pull it up in a boat?
Feel good
that's insane, I mean.
Fucking sweet in the Sorrento Tower.
Look at this dude.
No, it's just liquor. Come on, bro. Let's be realistic.
Dude, they pull it up in a
To
boat.
Don Julio. All right, some motherfucking 2-3 glasses of fucking champagne. Right? Like,
it's Wack 100. It's just popping off right now.
I mean, let's not put anything else on it. They feeling good. Are they not?
if your artist either told you, they instructed you to either lace liquor, or they instructed you to go get like illicit drugs, like for example, in there they said like your artist said, yo, I need some cocaine laced with a little bit of fentanyl because we finna have a good night tonight.
None of my artists do drugs. I ain't never had to deal with that, but it ain't gonna happen. Not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. Even if they need that, they're never gonna bring that to me. Not gonna happen. Too much respect. But my artists don't fuck around like that. Gang don't fuck around. Like Gang may have a drink every now and then or some shit. He might smoke weed occasionally. Blueface the same way. It's not gonna happen.
I was about to say Blueface be smoking a lot of weed.
No Diddy, like he seemed like he's sitting on no Diddy with that, but he feels somewhere about it. He hasn't said it, but on his show, every time
Mace needs to get out his feelings. I've talked to Mace about this shit on Clubhouse, right? Okay. I don't feel Diddy did nothing wrong to Mace. Mace read the contract, signed the contract. When you got the millions of dollars, you wasn't complaining. Shit happened, all happened. Maybe you learned the game and realized you could have did a better deal, but you didn't. That's your decision. He didn't put a gun to your head. So, I be telling Mace, like, come on, Diddy. Bro, you, like, my nigga, that's the case. You did the same contract with Fabio, right?
Fabio for
brother. He retracted some of the terms of that contract later on, but that's not to stop it to say you didn't give Fabio $5,000. Right? Now, when you did the contract with the major, he did right by Fabio. But that initial contract, people could read that initial contract and say, mate, what kind of shit is this? He made it right. He did eventually make it right.
Okay. Well, I think we talking beyond contracts. So you got to think about it. It's like Mace left.
Everything's about the contract with them, bro.
Mace left that situation and became a pastor. He must have seen some shit.
That's his personal business.
He must have seen some shit over there. He said, like, I need to get closer to God. What kind of freak over this?
Mason got closer to God, left God, came back to him, left him again halfway back in the suit on the podcast. But fucking Cameron, let's keep it real. Cameron is a wolf. He a renegade. Nigga, he gonna beat Cameron. You know that. Right? So, in the day, what I'm saying is I don't think Diddy did anything wrong to Mace. I think Mace just feels like Diddy could have been more fair to him. But business is business. If Mace would have negotiated what was in front of him,
for sure,
then I think Diddy would have negotiated and probably gave him a better deal.
That's so crazy. We're even talking about a deal. when this guy is
know what I'm
like
saying?
caught up in all
wait,
of this
I'm
stuff.
about to play this R. Kelly audio real quick, and I'm gonna call you back.
All right, for sure. All right.
Because people gotta hear it. All right, people. My bad. I know we had 2 calls back to back. I'm sorry. We're still getting into this a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of like glossing over certain things because I'm on the phone and things like that. But I do want to show y'all. There's some more footage,
Some R. Kelly stuff
pictures
going
of,
on.
like how major the raid was. So they blocked off entrance apparently to the island, right? Or they were either monitoring a possible exit. Remember I told you about
they
Star
had
Island. There's
this
only
on
one way in,
lock,
one way out,
homie.
right? Star Island.
Had this
you look
on
at it
lock
here,
to get this
This
for.
is the road that connects it right here. I'm sorry. This road right here connects it. So they blocked it off over here to make sure that, say, people were trying to flee, you couldn't really do that, right? There's some more shit here. Give me a second. So that's where they blocked off. And then now it's saying Uncle Sam sent the cavalry for the operation because not only were the boots on the ground, but there was a chopper as well. So they had it wasn't only media in the sky. Apparently this was a airplane that belonged to the feds or probably some type of local government helping. Then they said when any army of law enforcement, when an army of law enforcement swarmed Diddy's house, the Miami grounds were just as infiltrated, although it looks like the raid was a little bit more low-key, as Star Island is quite literally sectioned off from the public. So let's go.
Yeah, I seen that
It
boat.
looked like they showed up on boats too. I guess. Here we go.
Yeah, dude. Like a full 360.
Holy shit.
A full 360.
You know
they were
there's something going
expecting.
on. They just they rushed this nigga's house by sea, land, and air. Like, god damn it. If they're running down on you by sea, land, and air, you're fucked.
Guilty by association.
But is that like Coast Guard right here? I see like a little siren. You see that? Right here?
Guilty by association.
It's probably a police boat.
But over here, you can see people in bulletproof vests. These look like agents. Holy shit. Wow. Crazy operation. I had said this operation cost at least $100,000. I think I severely underscored it. I think this operation cost at least like $500,000. There's so many things, so many people to mobilize. They stayed there so long. They brought out like a mobile headquarters to set up shop outside the house for quicker processing. I think this is a huge
crazy
fucking deal. And that's just the raid. Now we're going to have to deal with, they're going
to
get information from the house, and they're going to have to watch hours, if not days, full of footage to see if anything would probably help. And who knows how long the footage that was recorded at the house lasts for. Maybe it lasts for only like 3 days, a week, 2 weeks. Maybe it lasts for a month, or maybe it lasts for years, which obviously that's what they would want, right?
Wow.
Let's see what is this?
Diddy a lot. It was Puff Daddy was like, yeah.
This guy, he was popping off. He was yapping.
I ain't on every scene. You feel me?
Was this the bodyguard guy?
Vibe with my folks. So when people call up all the time, like, yo, come be in the video and all that, I don't just be.
You don't be pulling up unless you want. Yeah. Nah, did you party with Diddy a lot?
Oh no, not really. I would go to the party and leave early.
Why wouldn't you stay late?
I go to the party and leave early. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't invited to too many of those parties.
Why didn't you stay late? Like after
Damn,
hours?
shorty on the
You
left
didn't
is
get crazy after
fire.
I don't know what
Sheesh.
goes on
She's
after
very
hours,
beautiful.
after hours, but
He wasn't trying to find out.
I wasn't trying to find out. I know my place. You feel? I know my place. So I went to a couple. New Year's Eve parties.
Right.
I mean, I know Puff before Puff became super big like that. He a cool dude. I mean, all the shit going on with him. I feel sorry for him and his family, more so his kids.
His kids, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
We're behind
I
him.
said this today about nobody really saying shit.
When you sleep and shit. And then, don't they raid your house? And they have a search warrant and they have something, they want to lock you up? That's kind of interesting to me. All the guns and the tanks and shit for some cell phones.
Yeah, right. It is very interesting.
I know I'm from the hood. And I know, boy, Back in the days, you were doing some wild shit, then you had to worry about them people coming at night, at early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? They come while your ass sleep, and then they come and get you. Because they want to have a conversation with you. Even in the movies. Even in the fucking movies, they raid at night. Broad daylight, 12 o'clock in the daytime. I'm going through a lot of documents in this garage. See, I keep all the documents. All the documents. You never know when you need them. Especially the release forms. See, the difference is...
Wow. You see how serious this situation is, like, and I'm pretty sure he's not gonna say it, but I think Uncle Luke, he's kind of realizing, a lot of the fun. Keep in mind, all of this shit is happening while recently
stuff is over.
Released a Freaknik documentary. You get what I mean? Which is kind of like glorifying but kind of showing some of the problematic maybe behavior of what was considered fun in the 90s or 80s.
The freak off files.
What it looked like now, when it comes to like
it's
Diddy,
crazy.
Saying, oh well, some of the
no
fun
Diddy
or what y'all were doing in freak offs, hey, the police gonna look at that. I think this is one of the reasons why Uncle Luke is like, shit, he was the wild guy. He's like, shit, I got my releases. Let me make sure I still got them bitches in case they try to
pull up. Yeah,
that's
what it sounds like for sure.
Let me just say this, right? If there was anybody hurt or anybody violated or anybody treated any type of way,
wouldn't have been
or by anybody in any of them situations, that shit go to court and it comes out, and if your ass did something wrong, then your ass need to go to jail, right? I'm a firm believer of that, because
yeah, for sure.
Everybody got daughters. Ain't nobody want nobody violating their daughter.
Yeah, man, that's not
but
right.
At the same time,
kids in general,
we have to understand that.
Okay, I'm gonna go briefly to so the prosecutor that operated on the R. Kelly case. We're gonna play the R. Kelly audio with Wack shortly, but the prosecutor that operated on that case, they actually did an interview, and they're comparing what's going on with Diddy to R. Kelly. Look,
is being modeled on the investigation that brought down music superstar R. Kelly almost 2 years ago.
This guy's on the news right now, man. It's crazy.
Allegations that were made in civil lawsuits against R. Kelly to bring criminal charges. Nadia Shihata was one of the prosecutors who got R. Kelly convicted of sex trafficking. She's now a defense attorney and happens to be here with me live. Nadia,
that's
thank
crazy.
You so much
this
for
is the lady
stepping in.
Wow.
So first of all, your reaction to the news you're seeing, to the two raids, all of the material that I've just provided prior to you coming on, and the news that the feds are modeling this case after your case.
Yeah, I mean, it's big news. Obviously, taking an overt step in an investigation of searching two homes means the investigation is well underway here. They've clearly have probable cause to believe a federal crime has been committed, and that evidence of that crime or multiple crimes would be found in the two locations that they searched. So this is big news. And if I'm Pdiddy, or his lawyers, I'd be very concerned at this point.
The biggest concern, as I understand it, and check me if I'm wrong here, is that when people sign non-disclosure agreements, as may have happened in P. Diddy's world, and in big celebrities' world, it happens all the time. That, right? Doesn't matter if you file a civil lawsuit. But when the feds come knocking, NDAs mean nothing. Is that what you found in the prosecution of R. Kelly? All of these lawsuits and these accusers or people who may have been covered by NDAs, the floodgates were open and they could tell you everything.
Murder,
AKA,
child trafficking, rape, and all that. Did they just get rid of his comment?
That may well be happening here. An NDA, when push comes to shove, is not going to trump a grand jury subpoena or
because he said the
agent.
And by the way,
he said the R word,
NDAs, actually
which I just said.
You can't tell your friend what happens here, but if you are instructed legally and lawfully by a court, you can. So most NDAs will actually tell if they want to inform the person signing of their rights. they're gonna tell them, yeah, this NDA means nothing once the cops come. Like, yeah, this only means you can't tell your friend and go gossip on social media, talk a bunch of shit. But otherwise, yeah.
Or prosecutor asking you questions, but I wouldn't say that they have no effect. NDAs can make people very reluctant and hesitant to speak to law enforcement. So if it's someone that law enforcement is not already aware of, they may be wary to, themselves contact law enforcement to provide information. And so they can still deter people in that sense.
But once they know they're safe, they can speak, which I think is always, well, it's a concern if you're the target. And we are told that Diddy is indeed the target of this investigation. Nadia Shihada, thank you so much for being on. I'll call you again.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Let me go through two things really quickly. So,
thank you for watching.
Sorry.
Go to news.
So let me kind of look at what the law is. So essentially, and again, we're kind of assuming here, but we're trying to like play this out and trying to get as much information as possible. If we're going to think about what Diddy is probably facing, the most applicable laws that would probably come into play that federally they would be looking at him for is either sex trafficking or human trafficking, right? So we're going to look at what legally that's defined as. Obviously, they're going to probably try to trump it up with some additional charges of if they
trafficking
they
victims
found
protection
drug
act,
possession,
TVPA.
maybe like
Yeah, there's
weapons
drugs
possession.
involved
Those
and there's
things,
weapons, man. This
those are
stuff's
still
crazy,
serious,
dude.
like you get caught with a gun.
Oh, man.
Felon, which I don't know if Diddy is.
That's
but
crazy.
Those could have years in jail consequences too. But the main thing that would be it's over. It would be clearly human trafficking or sex trafficking. Actually, let's actually even look.
If he was a normal person, yeah, he'd be over and out. Him being the way that he is, I don't know, man. There's no way that you can beat this.
Faced allegations of sexual abuse. The accounts went back to his start of career, blah, blah. He was jailed for 30 years after being found guilty of 8 counts of sex trafficking. Okay. So it's sex trafficking and 1 count of racketeering.
Oh yeah, I got it. I gotta see the charges. We gotta see the charges for this.
Actually, in Chicago.
After sentencing, supporters of R. Kelly shot.
Okay.
This was last month.
Sentenced him to
20 years in jail and prison in the singer's Chicago federal sex crime case.
Illinois actually did this one. And then there was
he has to be in Illinois prison, man. That's crazy.
They say he's a sexual predator who uses fake.
This guy's been in prison forever.
Oh wow!
It seems like this dude's been in prison forever. It seems like.
What was the racketeering? So if we're just going like we're just trying to be smart with this.
This dude went to jail like 10 years ago or something, right?
I'll look up the law for that in a second.
I'm about to look that up.
Why was it racketeering though? Well, I guess they're saying he created a criminal enterprise of how he was procuring these women and moving them around. That's the enterprise. Actually,
that's crazy, man.
Answered my own question, which that's good. Let me just watch a little thing of this.
Trafficking, and you might hear racketeering and think, isn't that for mafia bosses?
Okay.
But this was part of a unique strategy on the part of federal prosecutors.
Yeah, see, that's what the federal prosecutors do something different. That's why they get all the gangs, because once they say you have built an organization,
he went to jail last year.
Systematic way of doing a crime, and you have people, places, and money involved. As long as there's a crime being committed, that is kind of racketeering, right? Now, obviously, you use it at the highest level. Well, let me not say the highest level. You use it at levels for like a mafia or like the mob, right? When they have an organization of moving drugs and punishing people or killing people or ordering murders, but you can't get the guys who's pulling the trigger when they're the power players. So you get them with a RICO charge because they're making they're calling the shots. They're just not pulling the trigger, right? But they use a racketeering charge to get Kelly. Damn.
To introduce sexual assault allegations that were well outside the statute of limitations. And at the center of this case, Lester, was the story of Aaliyah, a pop singer who many people know died tragically in a plane crash in 2001 According to testimony, she met R. Kelly when she was just 12 years old. Witness, a compelling witness for the prosecution, said that she actually walked in on R. Kelly performing a sex act with Aaliyah when she was either 13 or 14 years old. We then heard from one of his employees that at the age of 15, he bribed an official in Illinois to get a...
Okay, all right.
That's crazy.
Wow. Okay, so let's look at the federal law when it comes to sex trafficking. It says sex trafficking is recruitment.
And that's supposed to be Dame Dash's girl.
Provision.
So I say yuck.
Or soliciting of a person.
It's crazy.
In which the Commercial Sex Act is induced by force.
It's wild.
Coercion, or in which the person is induced to perform such an act that has not attained 18 years of age. Okay, so the first part is
recruitment and harboring
would occur if, or you would imagine that it would apply here if they're searching in 2 different places in 2 different states, right? And Diddy constantly moves between both. For example, with Cassie had stories about New York, also LA, right? So you know he was flying her all over the place. That would be transportation. So we check this box. The next box is where the Commercial Sex Act, and we probably got to get a definition of what Commercial Sex Act means. But anyway, it says in which the Commercial Sex Act is induced by force. Now, according to Cassie, she felt, she was forced, maybe not physically, but she was under force and under duress to basically do these things to please him. And just by nature of the fact that he controlled not only all her finances, he controlled her life. Even her medical records was going to him before.
Which is crazy.
And then apparently when she tried to leave, he would send people around her to kind of induce her, kind of put some fear in her that she could kind of act right. So this would kind of come down to sex trafficking. You get what I mean? Now, here's the thing about it. The sex trafficking is going to... I would imagine they were trying to get, if they do bring charges against Diddy, they want it to be so overwhelming he's fucked. So
so he can't get out of it.
We're gonna bring
So what's the vibe?
Cassie, that's 1 count against Mrs. Ventura.
Okay.
The 17-year-old at the time, I don't know her name now. She would be 1 count. Lil Rod, if that was a thing, that would be a count. Other people, and I gotta imagine that done their due diligence and interviewed people. You know what struck me, which I didn't talk about last time, right? So Cassie lawyer spoke, and I got to think that the lawyer spoke with the permission of Cassie, right? It says Cassie's lawyer called out Sean Diddy Combs depraved conduct after Homeland Security raided 2 of his homes. This is what Cassie's lawyer said. We will always support, and notice it says we will always support law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. Now, what this tells me is that this lawyer probably walked Cassie into some type of meeting with the feds, and Cassie probably is going to be testifying against him.
Or this, yeah.
Cassie has provided information that could help us.
Very interesting.
Maybe trying to verify what does she have, what she left out.
Very interesting, man.
That, remember she constantly said Diddy would show her tapes to embarrass her, to be like, hey, remember you fucking all these niggas? You get what I'm saying?
Man, that's crazy.
Who knows? Perhaps. It's not even perhaps.
A matter of time.
Be cooperating, clearly.
Yeah.
If they're commented on this, who the hell would the cops want to talk to and get as a witness more than Cassie? Which, by the way, Cassie has literally taken down Diddy. And again, I'm not saying it's not Diddy's fault or whatever, but still, imagine this finesse. You get paid by the motherfucker,
and then you bring him down.
NDAs, right? Remember, she signed NDAs back in the day, probably. But then she sued, right?
So it broke those NDAs.
And probably had her sign new NDAs that she can't file again, she can't write a book, she can't do this, she can't do that. And now she gets to legally break the NDA once again by cooperating with the government.
The police, yeah.
Cassie, I don't know what did. Well, obviously, I was going to say I don't know what Diddy did to Cassie, but clearly we know. But Cassie is the person who's gonna sink Diddy. Imagine getting paid $50 million or $30 million, whatever that number is, and then working with the cops to send that nigga to jail.
That's crazy.
It's
a W Cass. Brilliant.
Justice, right? Damn.
She is very fine.
So
She is
Cassie
very
already
fine.
Celebrated Diddy's homes being raided. Yeah, that sounds like a lawyer who's been working with her client beyond the settlement that Diddy gave.
She is
Working
very
with her
fine.
client to deal with the feds.
Shout out to Cassie.
Sure, because here's the thing too, and there's a lot of muddy waters when you're dealing with the federal authorities, especially in a situation like this. Remember, according to Cassie, Cassie was helping to procure these escorts. She was the one searching for, hey, I'm looking for the nigga with the biggest dick in town, big black dick or whatever Diddy told her to do. I could imagine maybe she has signed some type of proffer agreement, signed some type of immunity agreement that she doesn't get charged, right? Now, granted, she's a victim of some sorts, but if there are other victims, they might have felt that Cassie facilitated them being victimized. Do you get what I'm saying?
Man,
So,
what a breakdown.
Cassie,
Shout out to DJ
probably spoke to
Academics.
feds. Probably, with their lawyer says, hey, we'll cooperate whatever you need. We probably got some extra shit we could give you and you can lock up Diddy. But we got to make sure that Cassie is number one, always seen as a victim, because she is a victim.
Yeah, for sure.
And the understanding of law enforcement is that anything that you're talking about with her that she might have admitted that she done was done under duress and done at the force, right? Or the fear of threat from Sean Puffy Combs. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yo, man, shout out to Big